I felt like, we should go around the room and introduce ourselves since I'm new and you guys all know each other, but that's just me because I'm that kind of a girl. Really.
Your name's on the paper.
Just kidding, you don't need to. I can
We'll
take
call
care
the meeting to order. First item on the agenda is election of officers. We will open up the floor for nominations, and then you nominate whoever you want. It has to be seconded. And once nominations will continue until we have a motion to cease nominations, and then we'll vote. So the first item will be election of president. So I'll open up the floor for nominations.
Can Chris do it again?
I would like to point out that my term is up in June.
We're fine with that.
How long is our term? I'm serious, I don't even know. What did the judge say?
Yeah, they're 3-year,
I played the other day, I've been on a long time. I have
they're
no idea.
3-year terms, and then you can do a second 3-year term, and then you have to be off for a year before you can, so.
Is this like the end of your fifth
This-
year?
yeah.
Is this like- is
And
it-
so what would happen is if Chris gets nominated and everything, and he accepts a position, then if he leaves in June, then at that time, they would hold an election of officers for that.
Could we hold off till then?
Can we just,
Adamant that we were a month late on this already.
what if we just close it now and everybody stays the same?
I'm feeling that's probably what's going to happen.
I know that, wait till June.
Wait, don't we already have a motion on the table?
We have a
Motion
We have a-
Nomination.
for
We
Chris.
do not have a second.
You don't have a second, you need a second.
Oh, I'll second it.
The motion is second, and then without any other nominations, we need a motion to cease nominations.
Motion.
We have a motion to cease.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second to cease nominations. So all those in favor of me, Chris Redorath, electing president, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say no. Motion carried. Vice president. I guess I'll return the favor and nominate Andy Jerke.
That's gonna happen.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and second. Is there any further nominations? I'll entertain a motion to cease nominations.
No motion.
We have a motion to cease nominations
I'll second that.
and a second. All those in favor of Andy Jerke for vice president, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say no. Motion carried. And secretary. This was Pat. I don't know. I didn't talk to her to see if she was okay with remaining. So then what do you do?
What ended up happening is if you guys do a first and a second to nominate her, then I would reach out to her, and then at the next meeting she attends, we put it back on the agenda for her to formally accept it. So,
Well, a motion to,
Nominate?
nominate, there you go.
For secretary.
Secretary.
Just to be clear, Pat.
No, yeah, Pat, sorry.
Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second to nominate Pat Skinner. Any other nominations? We need a cease.
Motion.
A motion to cease nominations? We need a second, yeah.
I'll say.
In a second. All right, all those in favor of electing Pat Skinner Secretary Treasurer, say aye.
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 Motion carried. That was everyone, right? All right, next item is citizens input. I don't see anyone here, so we can skip that. We have no delegations. So can we get a motion to approve the agenda? Is there any changes, anything? Nothing?
I'll motion to approve the agenda.
We have a motion to approve the agenda. Can I get a second?
Second.
A second. All those in favor of approving the agenda, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, say no. Motion carried. Minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
We have a motion to approve the minutes. Is there a second?
Second.
A motion and a second to approve the minutes. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. Motion carried. Financial reports.
Supervisors, anything out of the ordinary? That's campground revenue, campground expenses. The parks. Any parks still sticking out in your head, guys? Not this one next month, when we're talking about the water bill. Everybody be jumping on board.
We could have a motion to approve the bills.
I'm not gonna go through 26 pages here unless somebody wants.
I'll motion that. Approve the financial reports.
We have a motion to approve the financial reports. Is there a second?
Second.
Is there anything you feel like you need to point out to us?
Nothing out of the ordinary.
Okay,
There's some variations, but nothing out of the ordinary.
sure.
We have a motion and a second to approve the financial reports. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed say no. Abstaining? Oh, I didn't even say that. All right, department reports.
In the interest of saving time, if anybody would be opposed, perhaps skip over this portion of our board, but ask questions as we're driving. Or if there's anything that's real timely as far as information, supervisors can say something out of us. If that's okay with the board president. And
I didn't have any questions, I guess. I read that. Don't know if anybody else.
I will say I really appreciate the help that you guys have been giving the John McLeod team with the tree removal. That's been really great. They appreciate. I'm sure it's kind of like equally appreciated from both sides, but they always are grateful for the help that you guys are providing because they clean the beach areas up. You guys are all making a big difference.
it's nice to hear that from West Public. John does, and his volunteers do a wonderful job.
Yeah.
Timing isn't always great for the guys to get out there and follow up and get the things cleared or to follow up work, but I think it's a good partnership.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I know that they've expressed gratitude to me, so I hope that they're expressing it to you guys too.
Yes.
So if you have any further questions, we can move on to the Riptide contract.
Kevin, you want to highlight any changes here?
So this contract will run from September through the end of December. They'll start practice on Monday. They said the 18th is when they're going to start. So what we changed is they're going to use 3 lanes Monday through Friday, varying hours. A couple days are like 4.5 hours, one's 2, Saturdays are like 2. So I've got that schedule and based it off of $30 per hour total. So it averages about $607 a week is what the minimum that they'll go for, so. The meets will stay the same at 2,000, and they were going to have an October meet, but that got canceled, but they do plan on having one, and I believe it's the beginning of December. They'll have a good-sized one then, so.
I have two questions.
Yes.
One, do you have any idea when they'll be able to pay off the last of the debt to the city?
So as of right now, all of the money, since they started back up again in May, all of this money is going to that payment instead of to the rec center.
Why did I think that we forgave that last part of the deal? We didn't forgive it, we just postponed that inevitable, okay.
Yep,
What's the balance left? You know,
that I couldn't tell you.
Prior to the repayments beginning early this year, it was still at 100.
and then before COVID, I want to say our rate was like $11 a lane per hour. You know, we're going to increase them. What's your,
Well,
I mean, it seems like we're still giving them a discounted rate.
Right,
We're just applying this towards a loan.
yep, we are, and we kind of had that talk the last time on our first agreement, that we would get through this year, the end of this year, see how they're doing, and then we'll have negotiations for 2024 and see how we want to do that. And I don't know whether or not the city administration wants those payments to continue going to that, or if they're going to go into our revenue and they're still going to end up making that other payment. I don't know how that's going to work yet, but we'll probably figure that out all in December.
Kevin, how are their numbers?
They're not bad. I think when they start up here on the 18th, I think they're going to do a week of, people can come and try it and see if they like it, and then they can sign up from there. But I thought they said that they were close to 60.
Great.
So, I mean, it's
Yeah.
not the 90-some that they had, but I mean, it's
But considering
coming back.
what they've been through, I mean,
Yep.
I'm thrilled to hear they're 60. I was
Yeah.
thinking you're.
I think it was between 50 and 60, they
And
said.
that they have a coach.
And that they have Christian Fossum, which is just
Yep.
such a great thing. I mean, that's fantastic. So, I mean, I feel like while they're still in the rebuilding phase, this is just can I give my personal opinion, or do I just sit right here and listen? I can give my opinion. You guys are gonna hear my opinion. Just get ready. No, I just feel like as long as they're in the building phase, it's nice to give them a little bit of a break, and so that, obviously they're not making the revenue that they were making with 90, so.
And I think that's why we decided to go through the end of this year, because we don't want to set any kind of a precedent for the other groups and things like that. So, so I think this is a good compromise to go through the end of this year and then figure out how many kids they've got, what their budget's going to be. They're going to have advertising revenue that's going to be coming in now for signs that they're going to be putting up, and so that'll all help.
And great to hear that they're planning meets that will
Yep.
be back there, and so.
Yep. And their board did review this, and they have agreed to it, so they're just waiting to see
Does,
how we do.
Does the swim meet monies go towards the loan also, all of it?
Like the $2,000 for the meet?
Yeah.
I guess we haven't really determined that yet.
But do you guys have, when those happen, is there extra pressure put on your staff?
No, I mean, we have staff that are up at the front, and most of the time, we'll leave the cardio and the workout rooms open, but we close the gyms, and they use those for their spaces and everything, and they pretty much take over and do a really good job. Our staff doesn't have to do anything. They have people telling people where to go, and then they clean up, and so they do a really good job with those meets, so it's not,
Jamie doesn't even have to be there.
nope.
That's great.
I'd like to point out the rate is marked as X here on the contract.
What's that?
There's a rate right there for during the swim meets. Accommodate a meet that.
Yes,
The rate of X dollars.
So what we do is if like say it's on a Saturday, we normally have our staff there at 8. If they need our staff there at 7 or 6:30 to open up, they pay for any extra hours that they have to work extra.
At what rate though? Shouldn't we have an hourly rate in there?
It's at our normal, if somebody's making
Oh,
$11.50,
okay.
yep, Yep, and they also pay for, they have to have 2 guards on duty, and so they pay for those and they pay us that as well.
Do you know did they have any success selling sponsorships and banners?
I think they're doing okay. They haven't said, but I know I can't remember, because at one point they were looking at smaller signs and putting up a bunch of them, but now I think they were going back to a little bit bigger sign. They wanted to wait and see how the scoreboard looked, to see where they could put them around and if they can extend it a little bit, so.
So they're just paying a flat rate to you guys?
Basically,
Not any more, so if they make, more than expected, they're not paying any more to you guys? Or
right now, no. Right now, it's basically the 600 and 750 a week. If they use more hours, then we'll bill them for those.
Yeah.
But right now, that's what they're thinking that they're gonna need, so.
So the other lanes are still available?
Yep.
for public use?
Yep.
Any further questions? Can I get a motion to approve the Riptide contract?
I'll motion.
A motion to approve the contract, is there a second?
Second.
A motion and a second to approve the 2023 Riptide contract for the second half of the season. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. Motion carried. Meeting
12th,
date.
October 12th.
Thank you. So 6 PM on October 12th. Does that work for everybody?
Is it negotiable?
Yes.
Oh, yes. I'm not asking to change it, I'm just curious.
We made it flexible with the goal of trying to make sure we had a quorum every time. We had some issues.
I think that's wise.
All right, I guess we'll set the meeting for October 12th at 6 PM. Meeting adjourned.